and it's well over an hour explaining the symbols of the Soviet Union that I found back in 1967 that I knew implied something far, far bigger, and I explained what it implied then, why I thought it was important, and now today what it actually in point of fact implies today, and why it is, as I thought, one of the most extraordinary, important occult symbols ever developed. Because when you see the President of the United States, all of the different presidents since I've been alive, using the same terms that symbol uses, that Soviet communist symbol uses. And then when you see the universities, colleges, police departments, sheriff's departments, all kinds of government agencies around the world, United Nations, European governments, like I said, all kinds of institutions, educational, medical institutions, governmental, especially banking, commercial institutions, all of them are using the same identical symbol. And all of them are using the same identical words and explanation. And I realize the more I look at this thing is so incredibly large and so big that the world is using it everywhere, and no one seems to realize what this is really all about. And so I totally am convinced for myself that there must be some sort of a preternatural presence on the earth that is causing the human race to accept things that they don't understand, accept symbols and emblems and words and terms, and not see the significance of them until one day when the entire world is in the streets and there's anarchy all over the earth. And in those times of anarchy and violence and street violence and massive social unrest, you begin to see those symbols everywhere, promoting violence, promoting revolution, etc. So all of this I found to be extraordinarily fascinating stuff. But at the time, when I was like 25, 26 years old, I did not have the background or the experience or the wisdom to be able to really, truthfully understand the significance of what I was seeing. But now that I have been able to stay alive this long at 76 years old, I've done a lot of research on this one subject, and it's really very, very big, very ancient, very old, but very large. It's involving the whole entire world. So it implies, as far as I'm concerned, that there's some sort of an organized effort by a particular group, someone who has a particular agenda, and that agenda is promoted by and promotes this symbol. And so I have made a video on this, and if you go on my website, you can order it. My website is Jordan Maxwell Show, SHOW. Anything else with Jordan Maxwell's name on it is not mine. But I have a Jordan Maxwell Show. And on my website, which is actually a podcast, I haven't been able to do very much on the podcast in the past year or so because of my problems that I'm having trying to stay alive and fight my enemies to stay alive. But if you go on my website, Jordan Maxwell Show, you will see a little banner above the picture that says Research Society. What that is another website which I have put up, which is a private information. I'm putting up all of my information, all of my research from over the years. Little by little, I'm putting up as much as I can each week of all the research I've been doing on audio, videos, research files, pictures, documents, on all kinds of subjects, incredible subjects that a lot of people don't even know exist, and where these ideas have come from, who promotes them, what banks are all about, what insurance companies are all about, what government really is, who the police really are. Why do we have the world of chaos and confusion we have today? It's all very, very understandable once you get the big picture. And of course, I've got a lot of material on that research website for theology and religion, the occult world of religion, all the secret stuff that's going on in Islam and Judaism and Christianity that people have no idea in the world what is really happening with these religions and where they've come from. I will give you a tip on that subject, that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all three come from Hinduism. The Hindu religion is the parent of all three of the major religions today, but none of those three religions ever, talk about their beginnings, where they came from. They act like they don't even know anything about it, when in point of fact, all you have to do is just study the three major religions today, and you will see they all came from India, from the Hindu religion. And so that alone is most important to religious world around the earth today. Most people don't know that they're religions which they feel are the God's honest truth and the bottom line truth, and then you come to find out, no, you're just copying something the Hindus did many thousands of years ago. Christianity, Judaism is especially a Hindu founded religion. So much of what the Jews believe comes directly from the Hindus. And Islam, of course, has a lot of Grecian gods, a lot of material about the Greek gods are involved in Islam. A lot of Hindu concepts and beliefs are based in the Islamic religion. So I'm just saying that the whole world that we live in today is not what you think it is. Not what you think it is at all. Insurance, banks don't do what you think they do. The police are not there to do what you think they are. Governments were not founded to do what you think they do. Nothing in this world works the way you think it does. And until you spend a lifetime looking behind the scenes, the dark realities of the world in which you live, and see how things actually, in point of fact, work, will you begin to understand what I'm saying, that the world is not what you think it is. And so I've done a lot of research on this one symbol, and if you're interested in this symbol, it is the bottom line today in America. And I knew that the trouble was coming because I talked about it many years ago, that there would come a time that if America wanted to opt out of this secret society, if American people woke up and realized what was going on behind their backs and decided they don't want to crawl on their knees to their masters anymore, and they want to bring back the American way of life, that it was going to cause great chaos and tragedies in America, a great revolution, so to speak. Well, that's what's happening now because of the latest political developments. Now, Democrats are in the streets, young people are in the streets rioting and ranting and raving, never for a moment understanding what's really going on in America, what is actually in fact happening, and why things are the way they are. And they're never going to find out. So this is why I have devoted so much time to this one subject, because now everywhere I look, today, and the chaos and confusion and the animosity and stuff that's going on in America today, I see that same old symbol, the same identical words and the same symbol today everywhere. Like I said, what I've been doing for many years is called pattern recognition. And I have begun to see this pattern developing since 1967 as a basis for revolutions, riots, civil unrest, etc. And I knew, and I have said on other radio shows in the past, that if America ever did wake up, the American people were been sleeping for a long time, but if they ever woke up and realized that there's an organized effort to destroy this country, to destroy the human race, to destroy the values that the human family on the earth have cherished for centuries, if they ever woke up, the American people ever woke up and decided to do something about reestablishing the great values, the human values that the world has been working toward all these years, all these centuries, there's going to be chaos in the street. And today, as I've said in the past, and today it's happening, just as I said it would. Because the young people and the people in the streets today who see in the new president a reason to be rioting in the streets and doing all of the chaotic things which are happening, it's understandable. I understand what is going on. I understand who's doing it and why. This is all being orchestrated by secret societies, which, and the way you can tell that in overwhelming proof is look at the symbols that the rioters are using. Look at the symbols on the flags and the signs. Look at the words that they are using. And if you've studied the subject of agitprop, which is a political term for the agitation propaganda that the CIA, NSA, international terrorist organizations use to create chaos, is called agitprop, agitation propaganda. And if you study agitation propaganda for many, many years, then you will know already what I'm talking about. That there is a secret order in the world that is overthrowing civilizations around the planet, around the world. And they're using the people as cannon fodder. They're using the people to overthrow governments. And the people think that they are out there, demonstrating for freedom and liberty and justice, when actually, in fact, what is happening is that they are working for secret societies and fraternal orders who are manipulating and exploiting the people's ignorance. And ultimately, when this chaos that's in the world today, when this chaos is over, we're going to wake up and find out we have destroyed our own world, the world that we humans live in. We have purposely joined in into this massive, well-laid plan to destroy humanity, to destroy the human family, and obviously to destroy freedom and liberty and justice, honor, decency, anything and everything that the human race has been built on and worked toward for so many centuries is now going wholesale down the toilet. It's being flushed down and flushed out of the history of the human race. Why? Because of particular secret societies which have a particular agenda. And once you see who they are and what they're doing and how they've done it over the centuries, and see the connections that goes from one century to the next with the same symbols, the same words, the same terms, and begin to see for the first time what a lot of people are calling the big picture. When you begin to see for the first time the outline of the big picture, it's absolutely frightening. because you, for the first time, begin to realize